Uh, hey guys, I'm gonna try to kill multiple birds with one stone, in this video. So first I want to apologize and explain why I haven't made videos in a couple days, and title of this video will tell you why. But I had my court date today's Saturday, so I had my court date on Friday. Yesterday for the felony charges for lying on a gun form, which I didn't lie on a gun form. I wasn't aware of this. The issue was me being in a psych ward in 2009, involuntarily committed, which I got the records from the hospital, and well, I didn't remember that happening because I was in the psych ward like 9 times in a year and a half. It's a lot to get into. I don't know if I ever talked about it on the channel, but I did end up getting the records because I don't remember ever being involuntarily committed. I'm always like cooperative. Like I'm the guy that says don't resist arrest and cooperate and all that. I'm always a person cooperating. So I really don't even think my arms are weak holding this. I really doubt that I like resisted going to the hospital and had to be involuntarily committed and whatever. But anyway, I was able to get hospital records of that. Anyway, I have to lift weights 1 second. I definitely have a problem multitasking and trying to do multiple things at once. All right, I have to do this now. It's probably not the best camera angle. We'll lower it a little bit more. Yeah, maybe audio levels. I don't think I can do. I should lower these weights, but we'll just do whatever. I used to be doing, hopefully this is focused. I used to be doing concentration curl and hammer curl both in the same day, but now I alternate. So one workout I'll do this one, then the next time I do this workout I'll do this one, because I thought it was overkill to do so many curls when I didn't need to. And the reason that I do both is because one works out, the concentration curl works out your short bicep, your long head and your short head of your bicep. Concentration curl works out the short head of your bicep. Hammer curl works out the long head, and you should kind of do both, I guess. Another reason I haven't been making videos is because my neighbors next door are like pretty loud, and I don't want them like overhearing stuff that I say or anything too, because the walls are like kind of thin. I always get like self-conscious when people overhear stuff that I'm talking about, because I don't know, I guess I get like kind of paranoid maybe. It's just like if they hear stuff that I'm saying, then they end up like using it against me. And it's probably not even like, it's people in the past that have done that to me that makes me weary or apprehensive or conscious of other people around me, new people doing it even if they don't do it. So it's kind of not fair to them. But this person already like gaslights and is super aggressive and stuff like that. So which I'm not going to get into in this video. So anyway, you guys want to know about my court hearing. I should have talked about this like right after it happened yesterday, but I was just too drained because I had to wake up at 7 in the morning to be down there and everything. So I walk into the courthouse and you have to wear a mask, and the doors are locked, and the cops, they see you outside of the door and then let you in, which I knew that beforehand because I was down there a couple times trying to ask questions about the case and everything before this. So I walk in and tell them that I'm there for a hearing and whatever. And it's a preliminary hearing, which is supposed to be, at least from what I read online, it's supposed to be like where the judge determines if there's enough evidence to charge the person with the case. Because if there's not enough evidence to charge someone, then it will just get dismissed right there, because there's no point going to trial and everything like that. At least that's how I read it online, and like everywhere online says that that's what a preliminary hearing is. The previous night, like I could have prepared more for it and wrote down like all my thoughts and everything like that, and questions, and gathered more evidence, but sometimes I get like lazy and lose motivation for doing that much work. But anyway, I had my laptop with me, which had like just 3 questions on it. But when I walked in, the reason that this is important is because when I walked in, the cop took my cell phone from me, and they locked it in like a padded locked case, and then gave it back to me. And then my laptop, they took my laptop with me, or from me, and they're like, oh, no electronic devices are allowed in the courtroom, which I don't think. So the reason that I like having my laptop with me is because when the prosecution, or when there's like when the prosecution or whatever is speaking, I can't really be interrupting them to correct them or whatever on their statements. So I like having my laptop there to write down my responses to them instead of interrupting everything that they say. Because when you're like debating, they'll have like, if there's just one person there, they'll have like a wall of things, and then you have to respond to every single one of them, and I can't remember every single one that they say. So that's why I like having my laptop there. And also I have to have like a list of questions and stuff as well. But I guess I just have to like do that on paper and be able to write down when the prosecution is talking. I have to write down my responses, which I'm a much faster typer than I am a writer, so that's gonna be something I have to get around and work with. But anyway, I walk in, and then I had to get my fingerprints taken because I don't know why, but I have no problem getting my fingerprints taken, which is like that's kind of like a problem with like me being so agreeable, I guess. Like if I knew 11-12 years ago that a involuntary commitment 11-12 years ago, like 11 or 12 years ago, I didn't want to purchase a gun. I had no reason to purchase a gun. I didn't even want to live anymore at that point in time. So me accepting a involuntary commitment and not like and accepting the stuff, like I didn't know it would affect me in the future. So who knows, like maybe these fingerprint things will be used against me in the future or affect my life in the future. But at that time, me getting my fingerprints done, I was just like I have no problem getting my fingerprints taken because I don't commit crimes or anything. There's no reason that they'll ever need my fingerprints. Back in 2008 or 9, I had a DUI, and they took my fingerprints for that as well, and they never needed them or anything. So then I'm sitting on the bench out in the hallway waiting to be called in or whatever, and these 2 guys come up to me in suits, like young guys, like early 20s, and they explain like who they are. Well, I asked them if they're the 2 officers that are the prosecutors on the thing, and they're like, oh no, we're public defenders, and we're just here to talk to you because you don't have a lawyer, so we're like offering our services to you. And I'm like, oh yeah, I know, like I don't qualify for a public defender because I have too many assets. And then they're like, oh well, how much assets do you have? And I told them, like, even though I'm not under oath, like talking in a hallway with these 2 guys, like I'm not gonna lie to anyone. So I told them that, and that's why I don't qualify for a public defender. And I explained like my income and everything like that, that my actual income I would apply, but because my assets I don't, and that stuff. So then they're like, what we recommend to you, they're like, you need to get a lawyer, and I'm like, I don't want a lawyer. Like they charge me like I called lawyers, and I've had lawyers in the past, they want $4,500. So this case specifically, the one wanted $4,500 to do the prelim and the hearing, and then if it goes to trial and whatever, he wanted another $5,500. So I just don't want my money tied up in legal expenses and to go broke fighting court cases. So that's why I don't want a lawyer. And then also the lawyers that I dealt with in the past, they try to convince me to take a plea, and and uh, and it's like when they're trying to convince me to take a plea, like I see that as they're not on my side of me winning this case. And then also I see that, what was I going to say? Oh, also that takes time away from my focus. Instead of my focus being on beating this case, now I have to debate with my lawyer to convince him that I'm not guilty of this. Like the actual law for this gun thing, like says that you have to tell the truth to the best of your knowledge, and I didn't remember this involuntary commitment from 2009, and I still, like, looking at this paperwork, I don't remember the stuff in this paperwork, the hospital records. I don't remember that happening. I remember like the first sentence of the description happening, but I didn't know that I went to the hospital because of that. It was an incident where I was playing poker and traded a guitar for like $100, $200 in poker chips. And then I was drinking, and I lost the $100, $200 in like two hands. And I was like upset about that and grabbed my guitar and left the building to like run away. And then the guys like chased after me and everything. So yeah, that was like not honest, and I shouldn't have done that. But like that was me breaking a deal, and there's no integrity in that. So, but apparently I went to the psych ward for that. I don't remember that happening at all. Anyway, so then the public hearing guys, I have to work out again. So then the public hearing guys were like, I guess they went in to speak to the judge, and I don't remember what they said or anything, but so then the actual prosecutors come out. There was an officer there, and the detective, I don't remember their names. They come out trying to tell me like, oh, you should accept like if you accept this now, we'll give you a misdemeanor charge, like it won't be a felony, and the court's not going to see it that you didn't remember that you had this involuntary commitment. We don't care if it was like 20 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever, like that doesn't matter. And I'm thinking like the law says that it does matter. Like I was honest. I went and did everything to the best of my ability. I went to the actual gun store that the cops buy their guns from and that the cops train at, and that's run by ex-cops. Like I went to do gun training courses. I spoke to all the employees there about everything. I spoke to my lawyer trying to figure out why, like if I would be denied a gun charge, and the only way that, or not a gun charge, if I would have been denied a gun purchase. And the only thing that I could think of was that my DUI would have been considered a reason for denial from 2008. But then I'm like, well, that was so long ago, like that doesn't matter. And then I had a PFA, which again, the PFA I just accepted because even though my ex-girlfriend had like a ton of stuff wrong, and I don't want to say that she lied about it because like there's no communication between us for her to know the truth. So she was like mistaken by a lot of the stuff that she was saying, but I had no intention of talking to her, so I just accepted the PFA and was like whatever. But yeah, that wasn't active. That was in 2015 that stopped being active. So the PFA wouldn't have affected the gun charge, but or the gun for purchase. So I spoke to like a lawyer like a year prior to or not. I think it was like in the summer that I was speaking to a lawyer about it, I think, and then it wasn't until March of this year that I actually filled out the form to purchase a gun. So like I tried doing everything by the rules and everything to the best of my knowledge and to following the law and everything like that. So I don't see how like, oh, it doesn't matter if you lied on the gun form. Like I don't remember this happening, so there's no way that I can fill out a gun form knowing stuff in the past happened that I have no way of finding out happened or knowing happened. So anyway, yeah, they're like, the detective is like, the court's not going to see it that way. The court's going to just say that you're lying or whatever. So you should just accept this misdemeanor charge. I'm like, me accepting this misdemeanor charge is going to be me lying. Like, me accepting this charge is me lying, saying that I did something that I didn't do. So how is that even fair? Or like, how does that work out where I'm in trouble for lying on a gun form and now you want me to lie for a charge that I didn't commit? So anyway, like, the detective like walked away and was like kind of pissed off or upset because he threw his arms in the air. I think like they don't want to go to trial because they know that I didn't intentionally lie, and they know that I'm a good upstanding citizen that doesn't commit violence, doesn't threaten or intimidate people, doesn't cause problems or anything like that. So anyway, then the judge wanted to speak to me, and so then they take me to a back room with a TV and a webcam set up to speak to the judge. And the judge has he has this tone of voice where he's like disappointed in me for not accepting a plea deal, and it seems like really manipulative of me. Like, it's like playing off me wanting the judge's approval. Like, like when you're a kid and you want your parents' approval, so you do stuff because you don't want you don't want someone in higher power to look bad at you or have a bad opinion of you, or you're afraid that there's consequences from your parents. Like, if you don't do what your parents say, you're gonna get hit or you're gonna get higher charges or whatever. So the judge was like really disappointed in me for not accepting a misdemeanor charge, and the judge is trying to tell me like, well, if this goes to trial, like this deal isn't going to be on the table. You're going to be charged with 3 felonies if you bring this to court. I'm like, I don't know what to do. And so then apparently they had a problem with me not hiring a lawyer, and the judge is like, well, we're going to put this into, oh, that was another thing previously in the hallway. They're like, we want to put this, I don't remember who said it, either the detectives or the public defender guys, but they're like, we're going to have this case moved to a continuance. And I'm like, I don't want to have a continuance. Why can't we have the actual preliminary hearing right now? Like, I don't get it. So I didn't want to have a continuance. So anyway, when I was in the webcam room with the judge is like, we're going to put this in continuance until you hire a lawyer. And I'm like, what? I'm not hiring a lawyer. There's nothing in the law that says I need to hire a lawyer. Like, and you can't force me to, you can't keep delaying my case until I hire a lawyer. Like, there's nothing there that says I need to hire a lawyer. Like, it's perfectly legal and acceptable for me to defend myself in court. And I think like they want, I don't want to say that they want me to hire a lawyer. This way it gives them more leverage against me, because then like if I don't want to pay a lawyer anymore, then I'll be more susceptible to wanting to just accept a plea deal just to get it over with, and me arguing with my own lawyer and whatever. It's more acceptable, more susceptible for me to just say like, all right, screw this, like I don't want to deal with this anymore, I'll just accept the deal. So it does give them more leverage. I don't know if that was like their intention of saying that or whatever, but at the end of the day, they're like, all right, the judge is like, they made me sign a waiver to like my rights to representation. I forget like the technical term for it. My rights to have counsel or a lawyer or whatever. They made me sign a waiver denying my rights to counsel or whatever, and I signed that. That's fine. But they still like moved it into continuance, so I'll be getting like a letter in the next week or so with that. But yeah, so that's what's going on with my gun charges and everything, and that's why I haven't made videos. That and these neighbors next door, like, there's not really any time, especially last week, because they had 3 people here and a dog. Like, there's not quiet time for me to talk and make videos. Also, I wanted to say I am looking into buying a house. That's like a whole other can of worms, and I'm not going to talk about here because there's a lot of other stuff going on. But yeah, so, but I want to buy a house so I have quiet to make videos and everything. But like, I'm not putting my faith in the judge. I'm not putting my faith in lawyers or prosecution or anything like that. I'm putting my faith in myself. I'm putting my faith in the truth, that the truth will come out and will help me win in court. And I'm putting my faith in the legal system and everything, that we do have a good, solid legal system, and that I can bring this to trial in front of a jury. Because if I bring it to trial in front of a jury, well, then the jury takes out the possibility of there being a one-sided judge or a judge that's against me or anything like that. I'm putting my faith in myself, in the truth, and in the legal system, that the truth prevails, and I believe that it does. It has always for me. I think there's also something that I think that I haven't talked about yet, but I wanted to make like a dedicated video about it, is that I think, like, you see people that are like independent and they pride themselves on being independent, and they pride themselves on being self-sufficient, and like you can also think of like preppers and whatever too, because they know that no one is going to take care of them other than themselves, and that no one is better at taking care of them than themselves. And I think that could be because people have failed them in the past. Whenever they needed help, people have disappointed them and whatever. So I think that's kind of what happens, that makes people lean that way and want to be that way. And I think the solution to getting them out of that mindset is to be someone that they can rely on and count on and everything like that. But really, like, that would be the job of a family member, or say it's a guy, it would be a job of the wife to do that. Because like, if I'm just a friend, like, I'm gonna leave eventually and want to focus on my own family. So that's why I can't be that person to someone. The same with like a therapist. A therapist isn't gonna be able to do like everything like that either, because they have their own family to take care of. They're not gonna want to focus solely on you and helping you and everything like that. That's how you convince people or coax people out of that type of mindset, is to be someone that they consistently can rely on. And they also have to be open to wanting to rely on people as well. Like, you can't make someone change their mind if they're not open to giving it a shot and giving you a shot to see if they can rely on you and you'll do good to them. Then that's not going to work. It's freaking me out having this so close to my arm. Just the lighting was better that way. With those side raises, you have to be like, sometimes I'd be like more forward, but you really need to like tighten your shoulders up and go sideways. That gives the most workout. So I always have to be cognizant, remind myself to do that, because going forward is like too easy and doesn't accomplish much. But also, I've been On my last one before failure, I try to hold it there for a little bit just to get a little bit more work in. So I've been doing that. But yeah, like another thing that I wanted to say about, like, it has to do with like the prepper stuff or whatever, and convincing someone to act a different way. Like, I know that I use my YouTube channel to where I can speak openly and talk freely with you guys and everything like that. And I know that the reason that I do that is because I don't have anyone that I can connect with and speak openly to in real life. That'll be there for me and there to listen, and when I want to talk and when I want to hang out, they'll be there for me. There's like multiple people that I can go to. Like one of the reasons that I like getting work done on my car is because then I can see Ian down there and bullshit with him and talk about things and everything like that. I like seeing Kevin down at the BMW dealership. That's what, like, the people that are around me with the work that I need done and the places that I frequent when I run errands and everything like that, they become my friends and who I can talk to, and like my family and everything like that, because I don't have that. So if someone were to come in my life, and I would want to build my relationship with them, because that's the thing, the person has to be wanting and willing to do it. So that's why you can't convince a prepper not to rely on you or anything, because they have to be willing to do it. But I would have to be willing to work on my relationship, build my relationship with my spouse, my girlfriend, whoever. Well, they would be my girlfriend first and my spouse coming later. But I would have to be willing to work on that and build that relationship with them, which that relationship is important, because that bond and relationship is what's going to keep us together. And I want to build a relationship like that, a lifelong relationship built on trust and virtue and honesty and being able to talk to each other and work out problems and all that stuff. I want to have the foundation for a relationship that lasts forever. So I would want to do that stuff and find someone that I could do that with. I look so much better now than I did before this coronavirus. Just gotta take a second to appreciate that, because I am proud of myself. I did my first pull-up today after just like a dead hang, pulling myself up from a dead hang, like not having any momentum, like not jumping up there and having forward momentum to pull myself up, upward momentum, just from a dead hang hanging there. So what I did, because I wasn't able to do one, was I was just hanging there and putting some like tension on my arms to like slowly work up the muscles for that. But I had so much to say in this video. This video is going to be stupidly long, and I apologize for that, but that's just how it is. But let's get this last set done so that I can take a shower and get cleaned up and drive my car and go tanning and do some errands and stuff and eat. I feel like I'm getting weaker on these too, because I was doing 10, 7, and 5, and now I'm down to... It is what it is. I'm not like too worried about it. All right, take care, thank you, and goodbye for real. I said bye way too many times in this video.